You know, I was told to do a video about, Anthony Joshua. Do they take his quietness for weakness? And I figure they do. I do believe that a lot of people, they do and they can. And what happens when a person doesn't say much, it's easy for the person that's talking to continue talking when the other person is not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, for example, if you call someone a coward and that person doesn't respond back, it's easier for you to keep saying that because well, hell, he ain't saying shit. I'm gonna keep saying it. You know, it's almost like you see these viral videos that go around on social media and other platforms, YouTube, right? And you'll have like a chick, that it's a popular one where the chick, she keeps badgering the dude, calling them bitches and hoes and punks and all other kind of derogatory things, and right? And then the dude's like, he's avoiding it. He's ignoring that. He's not even, but really what's happening is she's pissing that dude off. But she's putting his finger in his face and slapping him and doing all types of obnoxious stuff, And then finally, one swing, he knocks her spark out, right? And they're like, oh my God, and she's all like, I can't believe he did that. This kind of reminds me of a situation like that, in a sense, because it's easy to keep talking and barking at a person that's not saying anything back. You think that you're actually making progress or making an effect on that person if that person's not saying anything. So you can convey anything. You can assume, though, that person is, oh, he's scared. See, he ain't even saying nothing back. You see what I'm saying? He ain't even saying nothing back. He's a coward. He didn't want to fight me. He's a coward. He was just scared. He didn't want none. He was a coward. And then Anthony Joshua doesn't say anything. So it's like, well, what can I say about Anthony Joshua? Me being a person, I would have, but I am not Anthony Joshua, so I can't speak for Anthony Joshua. But what else can you say about Anthony Joshua? The dude, he sells out arenas. He has 3 belts, 4 if you count the IBO. He makes a shitload of money. He is massively, massively famous in his country. He has all these endorsements. You know what I mean? He's flying here to secure endorsements. He's fighting his mandatories to keep what he has intact. People like this dude. He's likable. He's getting known different places because he's all over the place. It's coming from Joshua's standpoint, coming from his point of position. It's easy for him to ignore someone like Deontay Wilder, and that would appear like the best thing to do simply because Deontay doesn't have any of these things. So we know he doesn't have any of that. He has a nice home, a shitload of kids, you know what I mean? But he doesn't have what Joshua has. He's not flying here or flying there to have any endorsements. You know what I mean? Neither did Mayweather, because a lot of people will say Mayweather didn't have that, but Mayweather had money. Mayweather built his whole career on the strength of what he did previous in the sport because he was froze out of a lot of fights that could have made him popular. And when he had the position to become popular, he took it and ran with it. That's the difference. Deontay ain't done that. So back to Joshua. Joshua did do that. Joshua was the guy that was put up against the reigning king. He took a gamble and he won. That what made him, that set him apart from one point to the next. Sure, he was the Olympic gold medalist, but then he became the Olympic gold medalist to the unified champion of the world by taking one fight, right? It's always that one thing you do. You know what I mean? Sure, you do 3 or 4 things that adds to that. Ask Roy Jones, but It's that defining thing you do. And speaking of Roy Jones, what did Roy Jones do that defined him? Right? Sure, he's ripped off in the Olympics. We know that. But what did he do in his career? The only loss he received was before the loss. What did he do? He beat James Toney. James Toney was that guy that nobody wanted to mess with. You know what I mean? Not Chris Eubank, not Nigel Benn. None of those dudes wanted anything to do with that guy. Roy beat that guy. That defined Roy's special. And then not only he did that, he kept moving up. Okay. So it was that was that one thing though. So Joshua did that one thing to place his position of where he is today. You know what I mean? And then hell, it ain't like he doesn't come off like he's not like Deontay has these moments when he says stuff like, I just want a body in the ring. I just want a body. I just want a body. I'm like, now imagine if Joshua said that type of shit. I just want to kill somebody in the ring. I just want a body. I just want a body in the ring. You know what I mean? I just want a body. What the hell? You know what I mean? Did you just say you want to kill somebody in the ring? Did you just say you want to, cripple, look at the eyes of a kid while you cripple his dad kind of shit? See, stuff like that separates why Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are so different. That separates the success from Deontay Wilder saying things that make you say, whoa, wait a minute. Do we got to alert the authorities. Wait a minute. Hey, this is, you know what I mean? This is now, this is incriminating, you know? You know what I mean? Like, those are the things that Deontay Wilder, then that separates him from doing the things that Joshua's doing, okay? And it's okay if you're not that guy. Neither was Sonny Liston. He wasn't that quote-unquote role model guy. He wasn't that dude. We know that. He was who he was, But back to Joshua. Joshua is a guy that it's nothing that you could really say he did wrong. Call Eddie Hearn a slave master or whatever. And that came from Deontay. Another stupid ass statement. It makes no sense, holds no merit. So yeah, but the LDBC, those black boxing channels ran with that. Okay. Some of them. They did everything right with that guy. You know what I'm saying? They took this kid, invested in this kid, believed in this kid, and this kid turned out to be the golden goose. And that's where he's been. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So for people to use his quietness for weakness, just call it reservedness, because that's exactly what he's doing. Hey, I'm not going to say much about it. He laughs that shit off. I know that, he's coming to Eddie Hearn now like, hey, man, get this fight with this dude so I can slap him around the ring like I just said. I ain't going to keep saying it, though. Anthony Joshua said that shit one time. He said it a couple times, with different ones. I'll knock him the spark out or I'll slap him around the ring. But when you hear Anthony Joshua, his whole when people interview him, it's almost never about Deontay unless they ask him. And he's just really like, okay, well, hey, he has to sign the contract. We get that fight. We have to fight each other eventually. You know what I mean? Deontay's on that other end, the thug, that mentality. Oh, he's a coward. He didn't want that fight. He didn't want that fight. Instead of talking about what he didn't want, you know what I mean? Past tense. Why don't you talk about what you can do for the present and the future? See, he's talking about like, oh, well, that ship sailed. You know what I mean? If he's not going to fight Anthony Joshua, stop wasting people's time. That's just bottom line. Because all he's doing is talking shit. That's it. Stop talking shit. If you're going to sign that contract to fight that man and shut up. Or shut up, basically. You're sitting there, oh man, you know, he was a coward. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. Past tense. Do you still want it, Deontay? That's the question. If you don't want it any longer, let's just stop. Don't even talk. You know, be a responsible guy. If you are the A side, so he claims, why don't you pretend like you're the A side and do something Mayweather would do, like he did with Pacquiao? They asked Floyd about Pacquiao when Floyd was not interested in fighting Manny. What did he would say? Next comment. No comment. You know what I mean? So if you know you don't want to fight Anthony Joshua, just tell the public, no comment. Stop talking about once what was, and he was this, he was that. All right? Stop talking that shit. Just talk about what is now. Talk about in the now, today. Right? Oh, I'm fighting Fury. He's not irrelevant. Don't go into a damn rant. He was a coward. It would promise. You ever got promised something you didn't get? He's a coward. Shut up. Stop. Okay, just stop. No comment. You know what I mean? That's how you really handle that. No comment about Anthony Joshua. I don't have anything to say about that. That fight's not happening. I'm focused on Fury. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, that's me just breaking it down, going more in depth with Anthony Joshua, being quiet, you know, being reserved. So you guys tell me what you think. Do you think it's a weakness or do you think it's a strength? Of course, please subscribe. You guys been counterpunched. And this is Kurt DeVille. Peace.